Hey, we're back with Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, 1920 German campaign. Had a couple convoy battles in the last episode. One of our newer light cruisers helped out one of the older ones, and they sank a British armored cruiser. That was a nice little victory. We still are falling behind in victory points. And if I recall correctly, and what I'm seeing here is that the Brits are getting some kind of passive monthly victory points just from doing the blockade. So as long as this blockade continues, we will struggle just to maintain this gap as small as it is and not let it grow larger. So hopefully this blockade breaks. I think our best hope for that is that we've got several more cruisers, both heavy and light, coming in 2 months. If that's enough to break the blockade, then we may still shimmy out of this. If it is not, well, I just don't know how else this is going to go. We have well more than half of the Brits' power projection, and whenever I've seen blockades in past campaigns, that halfway mark was about where blockade was either imposed or broken. Frankly, first time I've seen it. As first time, I don't understand why we haven't already broken the blockade. Which is logical in that we don't really know a lot of these little details and how all these various mechanics really work. Maybe it's a feature of hard difficulty. I don't know. Anyway, I think we're ready to proceed to, before we go on, worth mentioning, a couple of more light cruisers built by the British. They have finished a number of new ships recently. Sometimes we see the numbers pop up here on the ship type. But I'm not sure every one of these are actually being manned. I hope they're having some budget problems. That's all I can say. On to October. Aha! This is the second time that Jellicoe has been warned for his naval expenditures. I think that means that is the second time that the Admiralty's budget has hit zero and they've had to ask for more money, which means that their naval prestige is probably not doing well. They've certainly been doing okay in battles. They're ahead of us in VP. But maybe old Jellicoe is spending too much money and getting the PM mad at him. That said, if it goes so far as this, rather transparent, just a kind of a name, if he gets fired, he just gets replaced by somebody else. It doesn't make the British lose. But at least they're having money problems. That's a good thing, right? And we lost 3 transports. Great. I haven't actually looked. Yeah, that transport capacity has fallen off just a hair. I wonder if the recent transport losses in battle have had anything to do with that. I don't know. I do not know if those count. There's kind of a difference of opinion about that in the Steam discussions. But we're still above 100%. Unrest is climbing. I think that's just because there is a blockade, and I think that naval prestige is dropping for the same reason. Here is another convoy battle. Battlecruisers, we're defending. And it's our Konigsberg against Trafalgar. I think they have met before. We have one light cruiser to there too, but this is one of our newer ones. Let's see what we can do. I would far prefer that Konigsberg stay over 6 miles away from these cruisers if you possibly can. I would far prefer that Konigsberg help kill one of these. Or both of these first, if she possibly can. No, over here. I wish you could just click and get as much rudder as you can with the manual rudder control. Where are those pointed at? Is she aiming at Konigsberg or Amazon? I think those torps were aimed at Amazon when her bow was pointed over here. And hopefully Konigsberg will pass in front of that torpedo spread. Vindictive is reloading. Cairo has just fired. We haven't spotted those yet. They gotta be right around here. Okay, there's Cairo's spread. I think we're in okay shape for those. this last one? Yeah, I think so. The transports, well, transport may eat one. You know what? Give them a taste of their own medicine. There you go. Vindictive is launched again. At whom? One wonders. Don't know. It makes sense that big ships turn slower, have wider turning circles. But even so. Yeah, balanced rudder. That is the slowest turning rudder there is. It's a big part of it. Here's where you shift your rudder, head back. It takes so long to shift the rudder with a balanced rudder. Unbalanced is the fastest. Along with the type of steering gear. The steering gear you got. Hydraulic. Which is the second slowest. Let's go check out Amazon. Torpedoes aren't ready yet. Oh, yeah, keep firing on Vindictive. Smoke. Okay, Konigsberg, shift fire to Cairo. Actually, maybe we better shift fire to Trafalgar. An Amazon deal with Cairo. Or not. I don't like how close that. I'm not liking the torpedo implications here. Mains here, Konigsberg, secondaries on Cairo. Flash fire's about now. On Trafalgar, that is. Just keep heading this way. Okay. All right. That is the second time we've seen... okay. It's the second time we've seen one of those British battlecruisers sink very quickly. I don't know exactly what happened there. Well, she just took a ton of hits is what happened. Cairo's about to load another launcher. She's still got plenty of torpedoes left. Amazon has lost speed, but not maneuverability. Her rudder's okay, she can turn really tight at the moment. Cairo's hurting too. Let's watch to see if she launches. Boom, she does. Amazon hard right. You know what? Amazon, launch some of your own. Cairo's making 19 knots. Konigsberg is faster. Amazon is not. Just because it's showing loading, you know, they've got launchers on both sides. Port may be loading, starboard could be loaded, or vice versa. So sometimes you see spreads come out when you think they've shot. She's turned. So she could have unmasked a loaded launcher. She did. Now I'll come back left to swing the stern away. Ooh, is it gonna clear? Is it gonna clear? It did. Ha 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 ha. There. Okay, she's getting a little low on torpedoes now. another spread. Turn, 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 turn. Ooh, one of these may catch her. Midships. Comb it right through. She's got 4 torpedoes left and 1 quad launcher. I'm just turning to unmask aft batteries, aft turrets. Nice job, Konigsberg and Amazon. More of that, please. Right. A Trafalgar class battlecruiser, the Trafalgar herself, down. Along with 2 Liverpool class light cruisers. $5,800 victory points versus 33. That is very, very helpful. And we've taken a capital ship, a 28,000 ton capital ship off the board. Will that be enough to break the blockade? We'll find out. It may take until the next turn to calculate. Meanwhile, do I have any ships over here in the Baltic? No. Am I going to do my port shifty thing to we just had a little bump up in prestige and a little drop in unrest. I am going to go ahead. I said I was going to do this earlier before I started kind of exploiting this bug. I'm going to let it hit 0 because I know it will affect my prestige. I don't know how much. It happened one time in a campaign quite a while back. I haven't let that happen again, so I don't remember how serious the prestige hit is. I'm just going to see. Right now, on to November. There it is. Naval funds insufficient. Forced to increase the naval budget, provide some extra money. This situation will not be tolerated forever. Understood. Oh, that was a pretty big hit. Okay, so you take a 25 prestige hit for that. I don't want to do that again. But we got 72 million in the bank. And budget went up. The monthly went up because we're only at a 5 million deficit. Actually, that might be because that's completed repair. It may have scrolled off the bottom of the screen. Do we have those heavy cruisers yet? We do. Nuremberg and Wiesbaden. Our final 2 new light cruisers have entered the fleet. And the Prinz Heinrich, the Kaiser and Augusta, and the Hansa have entered the fleet. Blucher, is it Blucher or Blucher? I kind of think it's Blucher. has completed, but there's not enough crew to man her, so she's mothballed. And it's going to be, oops, wrong tab. She needs 1,000 crew. And it's going to take 4 months for this recruit pool to catch up. Meanwhile, we also have Friedrich Karl and Dessau getting close to completion. There's not going to be crew for them. Brandenburg is getting to 6 months out. She only needs 1,100. It's only it's only 100 more for a battleship than it is for our heavy cruisers. I think that might be a. It's not on this data card. Maybe that's because Brandenburg was cramped and these CAs are standard. I don't remember if Brandenburg is cramped or not. And this smaller, cheaper battleship, the Gneisenau, is actually more crew. I think because I was able to get standard on Gneisenau. So now I've got a manpower problem. These new cruisers, Cadet, which is, my original idea was they might be a little less likely to get into battles if they're sitting over in the Baltic. But I kind of feel like, I need you guys in the North Sea. I mean, it's kind of what we did with the lights, the new lights. They seem to be kind of doing okay. We're up to trained now. Frankfurt's still green. On the one hand, I feel like I need every ton I can possibly afford. On the other, I'm kind of tempted to release these crews. I mean, these old light cruisers, they've got big crews. I could man Blucher with Frauenlob, with like Colognes or Frauenlob's crew, which are Frauenlob's actually veteran already. Okay. I don't know what low crew status does. I don't know if they will. If you go down to low crew, I don't know if that makes the ship ineligible for battles or not. But their tonnage would still count as kind of a reserve that would count toward blockade. Well, that was a good battle. I think it's enough for one episode. Let me see if I can kind of read up offline and know if there's an answer available on that. For now, thanks for watching, and we'll move on into December 1921 in the next episode.